Hello. All right, I think we're recording. So I just want to. This is my second video, or next one, but I wanted to give you insight into the follow-up part of the acquisition assistant. So you have two parts. You have a cold calling part, and then you have a follow-up part. All follow-ups are going to be done in our CRM, and it's Pipedrive, and I have it up here for you. You'll get the access code and everything, but I have it up here for you. So you just saw when you're in Mojo, you hit a button and it shoots into our Pipedrive um, CRM. The next thing, or really honestly, the first thing you guys are gonna want to do every day is your follow-ups. So when you come here and you see these are the two contacts we sent over. But you can go to your activities and you make sure you're on acquisition assistant. Go to your activities and it's going to automatically prompt you to do certain things when it comes in. So for instance, we just got those two leads. They were sample leads. They came in. It's going to immediately give you a task to assign the next task for this lead. Every single lead always has to have another task. So for this one, you would open it and look at the notes. Actually, this is the actual activity. You'll open the deal. It's going to create a deal for us. You open the deal. You can look at the notes. It also is going to create a contact name. So this is the contact person. You can go here and see some notes there as well. We can go into deeper training about what we have with this. But this will, when you have notes, the notes will appear here, generally underneath the contact. But they can also appear underneath the deal. But but all activities we want to set on the deal, and it's going to say the contact name and the deal address. All activities we want to make sure we do underneath the deal, because this deal is how we're going to track it. And of course, the end goal, when it stops being the acquisition assistant's responsibility, is when we get to a walkthrough. So we're going to always go to towards a walkthrough. We have a new lead in. We're going to make contact, in which case we'll set another task. We're going to put them in a short-term follow-up or a long-term follow-up if we don't get a walkthrough. And then ultimately we want to get through a walkthrough. And at that point, somebody else from our team is going to take it. So in this case, it prompted us to say update deal info. That's another person. That's not your task, but your task was to assign the next task based on the notes. So you look at the notes. The note says, hey, they want to be called back next week. So you come here, you go to activity. You make sure it's a callback. You have different types of activity. You can do a call. You can do a task for them. You can do a meeting. You can do a text message to them. That can be the activity. Activity can be to send an email. And the ultimate activity is to set a walkthrough. In this case, we're going to call them. So you just say call back. Be as simple as that. Call back, and then you pick the date you want to call them back. They want to be called back next week. So we're going to set the date for the 15th. We're going to set the person it's assigned to. It's assigned to you right now. Perfect. And then you just hit save. Right? So now you scheduled that next activity. You'll see it pop up here, and you just mark your activity for acquisition. Mark that as done, and now that disappears. So another person on our team has the responsibility of updating the info. They're going to pull contact information for the info. I mean the ARV information and comps and all that stuff. You don't have to worry about that. But now your job is done for this person until October 15th. And if you go back to your activities, you'll notice that you have one activity in red and one callback that's due next week. So the last thing I want to show you about this is we're going to manage everything on your activity screen. So the idea is to never have anything red on your activity screen. Red means it's past due and you haven't done it. Black means it's due sometime in the future, and green means it's due today. So if you come to a point and it's past due and you don't necessarily know the next step, you can always reschedule the task that was due. So we have this task here. It's due yesterday. That's why it's red. You can reschedule it for it being due today. And whenever you get it done, I'm simplifying here, but now it's due today. You'll see it's in green. We go back up here. We'll see it's in green. But when you go ahead and actually complete the task, so you read the notes and say, hey, this person wants to be contacted. Let's say they want to be contacted in a month, or they want to, yeah, let's say they want to be contacted in a month. You have a call, and we'll go to the next month, and we'll contact them here. We'll put some notes. Dealing with a death in the family. You know, we'll put some notes to let us know where we left off with that person. Detailed notes. You guys already have a great handle on that. And hit save. Now that's there, and we want to make sure you get credit for doing that note, that setting that new call. So you make sure you sign it off. And now that deal is going to go away. It's going to be done as a deal done. And now you see you have 2 tasks here set in the future. So you're all cleaned up for what you need to do today. You have no past due items, no items due today. You're all good. Now you can start cold calling or whatever else your next task is. The last thing I want to show you on this is we're going to track all your progress on it. So you can go to your dashboard, and you see we have 2 deals started because you made cold calls, and we determined those 2 deals were warm. You have 2 activities added. So you added 2 phone calls, 2 tasks have been added. 2 tasks were added, 2 tasks were completed. That's the task to set the follow-up. And you have 2 leads in your progress. So this tracks where they go in your pipeline. Once you do contact them and they have contact made, you can move them to the contact made section. If a person says they're not ready, we're going to put them in the short-term follow-up sequence. That's going to contact them every 3 weeks or so, or every month. If they're really not ready and not all that motivated, we're going to put them in the long-term follow-up sequence, which will contact them every 3 months. Because things can change with time. And then ultimately we want to have a walkthrough scheduled with them. And once a walkthrough gets scheduled, you'll set the walkthrough, I'll get a notification, and we'll go through how that process works as well. But at this point, this is the money spot. That's the goal we're always working towards, is getting a walkthrough scheduled. So that's it. The last thing is, if you're on the phone with them and they're a hot lead and they want to schedule a walkthrough right there on the phone from the cold call, you're going to send it over to them, and then the next activity will be just the walkthrough. And also, when you set that walkthrough, you want to make sure you move that deal from here all the way to walkthrough set. Walkthrough set. Boom. And by setting a walkthrough, it's going to automatically prompt you to go on the walkthrough, and you click here to set the date for the walkthrough. So he wants to do a walkthrough on Saturday. Set the date. And actually we need to assign it to you. Want to assign that to me, Langston Welch. And we're going to hit save. And now I'm going to get the oh, actually they have a send invites to attendees. So let's keep it on you so you can track what you've done. But let's say send in invites. Oh no, attendees, that means sending it out to them. We don't want to send it out to them. We just want to send it to me. So we'll work on this. It's all a work in progress. But we're going to send it to me, and then we'll hit save. And now I have a appointment to go on the walkthrough on Saturday. It'll pop up for me, and you guys are good to go. So we're still building on our process. It's going to be a work through process, but let's work together on it. I just wanted to get you guys familiar with it. And these are the 2 places where we're going to be dealing with our leads. So hope this helps, and I will talk to you guys soon.